Everyone has labels. Sometimes we're born with them, and sometimes we acquire them throughout our lives, but everyone has them. My name's Chloe. I'm 18 years old, 2 weeks into my freshman year of college, and I have gone through a lot of labels. I was born, and right off the bat was labeled miracle. I wasn't really supposed to be born alive, so the fact that I was here on Earth in one piece was, as some would say, miraculous. I was quickly then labeled as different, and over time that label of different quickly transformed into deformed and disabled. Because yes, here I was on Earth in one piece, but I was born with a severe clubfoot, one which has cost me many surgeries, many doctor's appointments, many hours spent in painful physical therapy, and many eras spent in a wheelchair. But my parents made this label of different better, easier to deal with because of labels they gifted me with. Labels like special, loved, unique. These kind labels became my identity, and because of them, I grew up loving myself and my special little foot and my growing collection of scars. But then my labels changed. When I was 14 years old, I was assaulted on my high school campus because of my foot deformity. I was restrained, and my disability was used for someone else's purposes in front of the eyes of others without my consent. And all of a sudden, my labels of special and loved and unique were ripped away, and I was molded and shaped by uglier labels. Labels like disgusting, used, freak. And then, when my assault went to court and then trial, I was labeled victim. I didn't know what to do with these labels. They were new and confusing, and because of them, I let them consume me and soon took on even more. Ashamed, isolated, depressed. The Chloe that had once existed had been completely rewritten, and I thought I was irreparably broken. But as I began to heal and slowly gained confidence, I realized that only I have the power to determine what my labels are, that I was not stuck, forever to be known and labeled as disgusting, used victim. A message of self-acceptance and love was born, and soon took on the name Stands Beautiful, and it became my proclamation. All of a sudden, I had new labels. I was called determined, brave. Some people called me a fighter, but I needed to do more. I did not have to let my assault win. I could be bigger, better, stronger. I applied to give my 2016 TEDx talk one night when I was supposed to be doing my homework. And I did so without telling my parents. And so I was, for the briefest of moments, labeled rebellious. Fast forward, after my 2016 TEDx talk, I have a new label to play around with, speaker. This label grows, changes, expands with time. Guest speaker, inspirational speaker, international speaker. I become ambassador. I become example. To some, I became life changer, and to others, I again become miracle. So what have I done? In these past 2 years, since standing here in front of an audience barefoot on this red circle, I turned 17, and then 18, got my driver's license, took and failed an AP English exam, went to prom, graduated high school, went camping twice, and started school at a college I love. But I also went back to speak at my old middle school, and then in middle schools all over the nation, even in elementary school in New Delhi, India. I've been featured in 2 documentaries, have had my story told on national television, on live radio, in newspapers, in podcasts, and online articles. Last summer, I traveled internationally, spreading my Stand Beautiful message of self-acceptance and love and anti-bullying and hope in Central America, Africa, and India. And last year, when I gained a new label, author, I was then whisked away into the crazy, magical wonderfulness of National Book Tour. These past 2 years, since standing here, barefoot, on this red circle, have been a crazy mix of opportunities. And I feel so blessed to have been able to share my message of Stand Beautiful with all sorts of people. But I've also been able to internalize that message for myself. Last year, I got the word beautiful tattooed on my deformed foot, a new label, and a permanent reminder that I am perfect in my imperfection, beautiful just the way I am. I want to read you an excerpt from my book of what it was like for me, Chloe Howard, to stand here on my deformed foot on this iconic red circle 749 days ago. I was brought up the dark stairs and was given the clicker for my presentation as a young woman taped my mic to my face. I remembered all of the pre-talk rituals I'd heard of and that had been recommended. But instead of jumping up and down or doing some crazy yoga pose, I thanked God for getting me there and took some deep breaths. As the host finished up, I kicked off my shoes, slid them under a folding chair, and felt the cool floor under my feet. Nervous, but refusing to entertain thoughts of all the things that could go wrong, I closed my eyes and smiled to myself. The host announced my name with the words, "Kicking off our day as our keynote speaker is 16-year-old Chloe Howard. Please give her a warm welcome. We are so very proud of her." A kind older man with a headset gave me the thumbs up and lifted up the backside curtain for me to slide through. And I felt a surprising sense of calm as I walked through the blue lights and the see-through props and across the black stage towards that iconic red circle. And I stood there, taking it all in. I looked out at the crowd, saw and heard the applause die down, and found my people on the far right edge of the audience. I looked at the timer on the dark back wall, set and ready for my 18 minutes. And then I looked down at my feet. My feet, standing on that red circle. My beautiful, discolored, toenail-less, naked feet on that red circle-shaped carpet. I saw my beautiful tattoo on the outside of my foot, and I was proud. I looked up, took in a breath, and began my future. "749 days ago, I was given a new label, a second chance. The power taken from me in my assault was given right back, only stronger. Ted, thank you for enabling me, for seeing me in my brokenness and fighting alongside me as I battled victimization and shame. Thank you for giving me courage and showing me that my voice mattered. Thank you for seeing me and for listening to me, for empowering me and labeling me, for giving me the label that is going to stick. Ted, thank you for calling me resilient. Thank you.